Hello friends, I am Nikita. I am a national instructor and a chess trainer. Welcome to our YouTube channel Chess Kaksha. In today's video, we will discuss about bishop versus knight. Which is better piece? Both have equal points, 3 points. But many players think that bishop are superior to knight, which is not simply true. It is a position and pawn structures which make one piece stronger than another. Like knight is the king of closed position and bishop are stronger in open positions. So let's understand this with the help of examples. So let's take first example. Actually, the effective strategy against a knight is to take away all of its advanced square so that the enemy knight will never reach its potential. This is called anti-knight technique. Stiglitz first demonstrated this technique. In this diagram, black has advantage because his bishop is sit on a fine square from where it is controlling h8 to a1 diagonal, while the opposing knight doesn't have access to any advanced square. The bishop is therefore superior to knight. The next position is same except some changes. This position is same except changes in black camp. The advance to e5. The black bishop is now on g7 and pawn has advanced to e5. This difference completely reverses the status of bishop and knight. Now the black bishop is blocked by its own pawns and the white knight has access to the d5 outpost. So always remember, a knight without advanced post is inferior to an active bishop. Don't let the enemy knight find a good square. When you have bishop, open up the position as much as possible. If your pawn block your bishop, remove the obstacles, place your bishop to open wide diagonals. So always remember these points. Let's take another example. In endgame, bishop dominates knight. How? A bishop is usually beat a knight in an endgame with passed pawn or pawn majority on both sides of the board, because the bishop long range speed allows it to attack enemy pawn from a distance. In this diagram, white threatens to promote h-pawn to a queen by h7 and h8. With bishop c2, black can stop white in his tracks. Then white will move and d1 check, hoping that bishop will capture d1 and he will move h7. But black responds with kd2 and after nf2, a2. The game is over. The long range bishop did his job, while the short range knight could not help white reach his goal. Let's take another example. One of the best thing about knight is that it can jump to any color. But in case of bishop, if anything is placed on the opposite color of bishop, it will be safe from the bishop. So in this example, white's bishop is on active post, but because of all of black's pawn are on dark colors or can easily move to dark squares. But knight can attack anything on the board and it can also defend any square. White king cannot penetrate the black position as c4 square is under the control of knight. So bishop cannot touch anything. White is unable to create anything, any threat. Let's take another example. In this example, it's black turn to play. Is n cross c2 a reasonable move? No. Playing n cross c2 would be a positional blunder because trading off a dominating knight for a pathetic bishop is not a good move. So always remember, when your opponent is helpless, take your time and torture him. Let's take another example. This position is fairly even, except that one side owns a bishop on b7 and the other owns a knight on f3. It's black turn to play and he wants to move his d-pawn. Should he move d6 or d5? Which is better? Yes, if he moves d5, it will be blunder. With one move, black closes the center, which favors the knight, blocks his bishop by placing a pawn on a white square, which also favors the knight, and hand over the e5 square to the enemy and would be permanent home for the enemy horse. Let's see if he moves d6. Yes, it is much more sensible. Now the c5 and e5 squares are inaccessible to the white pieces. The a8 to h1 diagonal remains open and the enemy horse has no advanced square to jump to. After d6, the black bishop finds fine diagonal and is clearly superior to white knight. So let's take another example. If you exchange your b2 bishop for knight, then what will happen? If you exchange the bishop on b2 for an enemy knight on f6, it is not a good idea because the position is open and the bishop are very strong. So don't exchange this bishop. Let's take another example. In this case, here bishop cross f6 is very logical. Why? Because bishop cross f6, then bishop will cross f6, then d5 leaves white with a very superior minor piece. The knight is much stronger than the bishop. So this was the examples. I hope you understand that the position and pawn structure decides which piece is better, bishop or knight. So always exchange. Think before exchange that you never exchange good bishop for a bad knight and good knight for a bad bishop. So I hope you understand this video and so like and subscribe. Thank you.